Hola, bon dia, Munson here. Yes, it's me, Carl, everybody. You may not recognize me, and this picture will keep changing. This is how it's going to be quite soon, I think. I think that may well be the one I'm going for Movember. I don't know what you think about that. But more talk about Movember, I am sure. And yes, get it out of your system now. Ha ha, look at Carl. He looks like a big fat baby, or whatever it is you want to say about me. I have been getting quite a lot of stick. I mean, some people have been kind. Some people have been saying, oh, Carl, you look so handsome. It's taken 10 years off you. But I noticed the gentlemen, and I use the term very loosely, have been giving me quite a lot of stick about this. But don't you worry. I will be having a moustache quite soon for Movember. That's why we're doing it. I went and had a fantastic wet shave. Is that what it's called? Cutthroat, with a proper razor. Lucia, my new barber in San Martino de Porto, she gave me a lovely haircut. I didn't think she was going to have time to give me a shave, but she gave me a very quick and close shave. And I do feel a bit, even looking at myself on the screen this morning, I do feel a little bit weird, it has to be said. But anyway, enough about that. We'll come back to that. And if you've shaved yourself off, ready to grow something for Movember, if it's appropriate to do so, do send in pictures. Bon dia alegria from Thunderduck this morning. We've got lots of lovely hellos. The main hello of this morning, of course, is to Jenni B. So let's bring her onto the screen now so we can share these hellos with her. It's Feel Good Friday. Are you lying down on the bed? You look like it's an overhead shot of you lying on the bed.
Yeah. No, I'm actually sitting.
How on earth are you? Where on earth are you?
Bon dia a todos. I'm really good, despite that I kind of got surprised by winter, because I don't know how it is at yours, but we skipped autumn and we went straight into winter.
That's interesting. You say that. It's been a St. Martin's summer, apparently, is what it's called in Portugal, where it's a late summer. And that's right. You're absolutely right. The autumn just was kind of there for a day or two. The trees were changing color, and now suddenly it's winter, isn't it? How bizarre.
Crazy. But Carl, may I say something to you and your new look?
New face.
I think whatever the gentlemen tell you to give you shit, that's just them being jealous about you having such a beautiful face.
I knew that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and they probably try to hide half of their ugly face with their beard, and they know when they shave it off, it's not very beneficial. Let's put it this way.
Well, that's very kind of you. I am perhaps a little self-conscious with this new setup. It's so weird. I do it every now and then. The main time I do it is I was going to say when a new child is born into the family. It makes it sound like it happens on it does happen on quite a regular basis, has to be said. But I like to have a shave when the newborn comes, so that they don't have to be against a prickly face. So they can. It's almost like baby face meets baby face. And that's, funnily enough, that's what the barber said. That's what Lucia said when I was talking to her. She commented on my Portuguese, everyone. She said, muito bem, fala Portuguese muito bem. And so I was doing my best. And but the way to get this done was she said, baby face, see? Baby face. And that's how we got it. That's how I like to do it when there's a newborn around, so they don't have to feel all those prickles. That must have been quite, when you're brand new into the world, and you get squashed up against your father's face and it's all prickly. That can't be very nice, can it?
But is it not are they not used to? Because it's like fur, and generally you look for fur.
What are you saying? That's where they came out of? No, I don't think so. I mean, I think there are levels of prickliness and stuff. Let's face it. Speak for yourself.
You might just add a little oil into the bit to make it nice and smooth.
I don't need to go too far with this. Okay. You snorted. My thunder duck. Carrying on with the Bon di Alegria with a kid maravilloso. Oh, superb. And yeah, let's go through these. We've got so many photographs to share, so many things to talk about. We want to talk about moving into winter, as you say. You've got no autumn, straight into winter, and the effect that might have on us. Yeah, and how we prepare for the dark times ahead. Yes, breathe. Peace begins with me. Winter begins with me. A midlife crisis world tour. Bom dia e muito cedo para estar acordado, of course. Have I got the my syllables right there and the emphasis? I wonder. I'm not sure what that means. Acordado is agreement, I would have thought. Not for me. I'm an early riser. What's this about then? Usually up around 5 a.m. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe more comments were posted and have gone missing again. They will turn up. Can you imagine when one day in Lost Property, all those missing comments turn up? I think from Deagle. Yeah, how was it at the docks? We were asking you. Matty's asking you. We all want to know how it went. It went very well. I really like my doctor. Is that why you're going so often? And today in Portuguese history, 1962, construction starts on Ponte Salazar, later to become the April 25th bridge. Oh, that's interesting. So I didn't realize that the April 25th 25 de Abril bridge was started in Salazar times. I thought it was built way after as a way of, seeing the back of the dictatorship. So perhaps, yes, 62. And then when would it have been completed? That's interesting. So decades possibly in the making, and started in Salazar's time, and then obviously after the revolution, a totem, a symbol of New Portugal. Fantastic. Thank you for that, Eusebio. Based on the Golden Gate, it's 2,277 meters long. Originally 4 lanes, it's been widened to 6 since 1999. Has had a lower train platform added, and I've been on that lower train platform. It's so exciting. It really is. Have you been across the bridge there, Jenny?
Which one is that? Is that the one in Porto?
No, the Lisbon one.
Yeah. I didn't know the Lisbon one had the lower bridge as well. I drove over both of them in Lisbon. I don't know which one it is. Is that the Golden Gate one, the red one?
Yeah, the red one is the one in question here. And of course, the other one is Vasco da Gama. But that's a beautiful drive as well, isn't it?
Oh, both. Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice.
And a special moment in the camper van. On completion, the bridge had the longest suspended span and main span in continental Europe, the world's longest continuous truss. Oh, and the world's deep. Does anyone still wear a truss? I used to be a lot of giggling about trusses when I was a boy, and I don't hear it mentioned. Maybe technology's moved on a bit for that purpose, but it had the world's longest continuous truss, a bit like my Uncle Dave. And the world's longest, deepest bridge foundation as well. It's going to be a giggly one this morning on Feelgood Friday. It was the 5th. When you were in the pharmacy, you must have sold quite a few surgical items of that kind, trusses and surgical supports and so on, didn't you?
Oh, I sold lots of stuff. If you want, we can have one comedy show about my time in the pharmacy. That's just ridiculous, guys. Really, I can tell you so much stuff.
I bet.
Human stupidity is limitless, I'm telling you.
Oh, come on. We love them all, though. I mean, but people are embarrassed when they go into the pharmacy, aren't they? From the young...
That's the worst.
They're not embarrassed.
The ones who should be embarrassed, they're not. And the ones who shouldn't, they are.
Of course. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yes. Yeah. So here are your condoms. Don't be shy. It's a very good and responsible thing you're doing. Yeah. Whereas, no, put your piles away. I get the picture. Here's the cream. Now go. Yes. Okay. It was the 5th large. Sorry, go on.
I remember this one girl. She was asking for vegan condoms.
Yeah.
And I was vegan myself at that time. But I just thought, everything has its limits. And I looked at her and I was like, vegan condoms. And she was like, yeah. And I said, may I gently remind you on that the thing inside of the condom is not vegan either. So just to make sure if you really want it.
Let's move on. It was the 5th largest. I think there might be some controversy about that. It was the 5th largest suspension bridge in the world. Put the thing inside. But now it ranks only 42nd. No, it's changed. It's 43rd suddenly. That's amazing. Okay. He's busted out the Portuguese. Uma maravilhosa sensação. The boa sexta-feira para todos de Amsterdam fria. Cold Amsterdam, then wishing us a good, a sexy day. Hoje já fiz os meus 15 minutos de português. Well done. So you get one of these. We get a nice muito bem from Philomena. There she is. Muito bem. You know what it says behind your comment there? The thumbs up from Philomena there. Okay, so back to your comments. And there's going to be a lot this morning. So I'll tell you what, I'm not going to do any of the at ones. And you're really helping me by doing that, everybody. It keeps cutting out. And then I have to reload the website, which is annoying. If you want to have it running in the background. I'm sorry, Matty. I don't know if anyone else is having that problem. Sounds like
Do you know why that is?
What?
Because you shouldn't have it running in the background, Matty. We need your full presence. We want your full attention.
Yes, exactly. Well said. Yes, it's Feel Good Friday. It's the Zen moment of the week. We can't be having this multitasking going on. This is not modern life here. This is traditional, full attention business going on. And so he gets one of these as well. Okay. Could be. I just want to have Portuguese in the background. Start it once in the morning and forget it till I am done with work in the evening. All right, we'll let you have that. If you're learning Portuguese, I guess that's a fairly good excuse, isn't it? Well, I have a playlist that's a couple of hours long. Often stick that on when I'm trying to move my soul. Wow. Well, you've come to the right place this morning for soul movements, I think. Well, I do like to have a moderator and some incoming phone calls to get more authentic Portuguese into my ears. All the tactics coming out. Jim's here. Hello, Jim. Bom dia, Jenny and Carl. Good vibes. There we go. And bom dia, Carl from Deagle. Loved the big reveal yesterday. Movember, 15 minutes yesterday. Well done, mate. That's excellent. Since we last saw you, Jenny, people are pledging to do 15 minutes of Portuguese every day. And some of them are doing very, very well, it has to be said. How's your Portuguese coming on?
It's funny because just the other day I got complimented as well for speaking so well Portuguese. And my sentence is usually: Desculpe, não fala português muito bem. Estou ainda a aprender. And then they go like, wow, but yes, but you know why? Because I've practiced this sentence for a year.
Yeah, you're like my daughter Minnie. She says to people, I can speak Portuguese, and they say, oh, go on then. I não falo português. So she says, I can't speak Portuguese in Portuguese, and she has that as speaking Portuguese. She's smart, both of you. Bom dia, alegria. Oh, yesterday was frustrating. You've come to the right place, Jack. We will help calm you down this morning and make you laugh as well. We were told could get our public health number when we arrived in Portugal. That's technically true. However, so we went to the Centro de Saúde, who said we need to get our CEF appointment. We need to go to our CEF appointment first. Oh, I see. The CEF appointment last week, all good yippee. So went back to Centro de Saúde, who said, no. The paperwork was not good enough. We need to take the card. Now we have to wait up to 90 days for it in the post. Now, if you have any medical issues, I'm sure you will not be turned away, especially when you describe that situation, Jack. So don't worry about that on the front end side of it and reception of medical services. But I can imagine that is very annoying, isn't it? Back and forth like that. Make sure you have many cafe stops along the way to make it worthwhile. There's always a cafe next door to the Centro de Saúde. There's a cafe everywhere in Portugal, isn't there? So make it a nice day out as well, won't you? Don't forget, everyone, writing in likes. Is that thumbs up? Like the show, big thumb. Deagle, what are you saying here? Don't forget, everyone, writing in thumbs up, like the show, big thumb. Well, we'll go with that. I think he's encouraging everybody to give us a like and a thumbs up. Smash those likes, as some young people say. So much for trying to exchange. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's the next bit, isn't it? And then talk continues about driving licenses, etc. And do you need a medical?
May I ask something?
Of course you can.
Jack, I don't know you, but honestly, it's not about keep on moaning. Try to focus on the positive thing. Oh my God. Of course, you come to a different country, to a foreign country, and there will be challenges in all these admin stuff, but I'm sure you can manage. Have trust that you will manage to, and don't spoil your days with giving yourself a shitty time just about spreading all this energy in there. Trust it will happen.
I bet that's cheered her right up. That has. So, Jack, I've got something for you because I feel a little bit heretical actually, and it's probably the right word to use. I have switched from Dr. Bayard's only temporarily to these Santo or Saint Javier.
Mm.
And so this is all part of the winter preparation, isn't it, Jenny? And here we have the rebusados of menthol eucalypto con laranja, so an orange flavored menthol, and they are very good. But then I look at the, I see what's in it, and I'm thinking,
I don't.
okay, so all right, so we've sorted Jackie out this morning, haven't we? Jack Polly, stop moaning. No, we feel your pain, but take a chill pill. And I don't know if you've seen this before, but peace begins with me. So there you go, Jack. That's especially for you this morning. Big hug from all of us to you this morning. Yes, there you go. Bon dia, Gumpers. And this is another thing since you were last here, Jenny. We have started to call ourselves Gumpers. Now, we should have checked with you before we did that, of course, because Gump might mean something terrible in German, mightn't it? Do you remember the Rolls-Royce released a car called the Silver Mist? Now, mist in German is not a good thing, is it? No.
It's shit.
So it's shit. So the Silver Shit car did not sell for the Rolls-Royce Silver Shit. And I say it in context. I'm not being potty mouth for the sake of it like Jenny is on the show. But it didn't sell very well. I think they probably had to change their name. Does Gump mean anything bad in German?
No.
Oh,
Gum is rubber, and the P doesn't make any difference. Yeah.
Back to rubber then again. Gumpers do it every morning. So we're going to go with it for the time being until we get a further telling off or putting right from somebody. So yeah, Bon dia, Gumpers, from James. So Portuguese, got to put that up. Feliz sexta a todos. Estudei 30 minutos ontem e 10 minutos até agora hoje. So he's a very good student, is James. And Sarah's here as well. Bon dia, Gumpers. I've done my 15 minutes. Really enjoyed all the info from last night's chat. It's a busy night. You know what? The weekend begins for me at midnight on Thursday. It really does, especially when we have Jenny on the Friday morning, because it's a busy night. The webinar was great, and our Expats Portugal plan soiree was also very good too. We did the medical online for driver's license. See, lots of lovely help coming in for Jack there. EI can help you out with that, and Matty saying how easy it was as well. Bon dia, alegria a todos. Need the look of disappointment today. Oh, he wants it. He wants the look of disappointment. You might get one from Jenny as well. Didn't finish yesterday. You see, some people like this stuff, don't they? There's the look of, I think he wants more of a telling off. Can you do the telling off face as well?
Naughty boy, Francis. You're a naughty boy.
You see, some people don't do their homework just for that purpose. And there's Mia. Look at this. Yeah.
Do you know what it's called? There's actually a term for it. It's secondary beneficial symptoms or something like that along these lines. But so many people actually benefit from being sick as well because they get all these intention, la 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 la. So they're like, happy days. It's much better than just being healthy and functioning. So I'll stay sick. It's fine.
Oh my goodness, you are giving it to us straight this morning, Jenny B. So you might not get a telling off. You might just get told to man up and do your Portuguese this morning, Francis, which connects us, of course, doesn't it, to the mental health thing and the old manning up phrase. We will talk more about that, I think. The medical was very simple, just a few questions. Are you in good health? Do you have epilepsy? Do you have all your limbs? Wear glasses. That's when I was in the dating world. That was pretty much my checklist, I think, on speed dating. Okay, I think more chat about licenses. I should also mention. Go on.
I thought there was one more question in your dating thingy. Do you hear voices?
No, I've got no problem with that. I've got no problem because then you don't have to talk to your partner if they've got their own voices in their head. They can. Always.
That's the point.
Exactly. They don't need your attention all the time. No, I mean the other question I thought you were going to say is, have you brought the vegan condoms? That's my other speed dating question. Okay, so licenses. Oh, and the mysterious Richard. I'm going to show you the leaderboard now. It's got a bit competitive. Do you see yourself as a competitive person, Jenny B?
Partly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm most in competition with myself, I must say.
Very good, and that's the best person to be in competition with, isn't it? After all, but look at this. Here is the this is our memrise, and Matty started this group, and I've only just started. But I'm in 8th. I'm already beating Louise. Yeah, Louise and Feral Working, Iris, Max Gravy, Sarah. They're all ahead of me, as is Francis. Even though Francis wanted a telling off today, he's still in 4th place. But who is Richard Colclough?
What is that list about?
This is your fans, the people who love you, people who love you the most, and apparently Richard is your number 1 fan. Matty second, Francis in 4th there. No, it's the learning Portuguese competition. Who's done the most hours? And this Richard fella on there, he's got millions of points, I think, but he's got over 250,000 there. And I looked at a different kind of ranking for him, and he was into the millions. In a different reckoning. Oh, and I'm 3rd there. That's amazing. I've only just started, and I'm already 2nd in the field. I don't understand this.
Is that maybe a fake identity just to keep you guys empowered?
It's not me, I can assure you. I'm not doing some sock puppetry with myself just to keep myself on edge there and competitive. Okay, so we hired EI to exchange for us. Okay, the solutions are coming in thick and fast. It's like a Wednesday. I don't know, as memorized profile names do not match YouTube names except for Louise. Yeah, and that's how it goes often, isn't it? People here have got different names all over the place. And Thunder is, you see, look at that. You'd never connect those two, would you? Max Gravy and Thunder Duck. He's just messing with our minds. Hola, bon dia, kids. Good morning to you, Victoria. Lovely to have you here. And I just hope the group of people with a 0 for this week will do better next week. Yeah, you people with you zeros. And we are now 17 people in the group, and I've joined as well. And he's giving me a muito bem-dissimo. I don't think that's Portuguese. Do you? But I get the gist. Carl, it's not a competition. It's an encouragement to learn. Get away with you. Of course, it's a competition. If there's a league table there, it's got to be a competition, isn't it? And we've just missed out on a whole load of comments there. But before we go back to those, and thank you, whoever's saying looking good, looking sharp. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I feel a little, since I shaved my beard off, I can see I've got a chin that was hiding underneath all that stubble. You see that? Get out of there. What have you been doing in there all these years? So going into winter, Jenny B, we have so many comments to talk about, but we do need to address this thing, I think, don't we, of going into the winter and how we might prepare for ourselves for that. What do you have to say about that? How are you preparing yourself, apart from sucking on a St. Xavier? What is it?
Do you know, the thing is, every year in this transition into winter, I'm asking myself, how am I going to survive winter?
No, and that drastic.
Yeah, really. And coming from Germany to Portugal, first year was like, yay, Bermudas, bikini. Now, second and third year is already a little bit like, right, give me the map. Where else can we go? Caribbean,
really?
Vietnam, India. Yeah. But the big revelation for me in all these years and all this process was that I had to be so honest to myself that part of why I didn't like this whole cold seasons was that it's the time where you're inevitably facing yourself.
Yes.
And I was not really up for this at all. No, I didn't like that. Yeah. So, me being this summer distraction, outgoing, woo, frantic, bubbly being, excuse me, not really wanting to calm down, look within, kind of like, is it not also in the bigger picture a thing of finding the balance of all this outgoing in summer and spring and getting all these new impressions and encounters and whatever happens, and then to reflect on this and calm down and enjoy the silence and check within and process all of this in the colder times. And I never took myself time for that because I was just not, oh no, I'm not going there. And by now, where I am more trustful in that nothing that will ever come up is going to be too much, or at the end of the day, it's all part of me, you know. Um,
Yes.
Now I feel that I can embrace these times a lot more. And I know that after this pandemic from last year, a lot of people are still carrying so much of unresolved conflicts within. And it
Mm.
might be a particular hard winter. Because again, we had this, I think last year around this time we started it. I think we started around with the Christmas show, and it was about, you know, what to do when we can't travel and see our families and the whole lot.
Yes, yes, yes.
And after a year of really intense changes all over, outside, on the outside, internally, within systems, within families, all this all this chaos that brought new order, I think, is now to be settled and integrated and to be accepted as well for oneself, not to end up in a head rush like Jack about all these bureaucratical stuff. I mean, that happens so quickly with anything, and I think
Yeah.
one thing we share is that we all went through these times, and that it might have left a bit of trace within us that is still wanting to be embraced and faced with love to come to its peace. So do we.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
I was wondering how our audience is coping with it and what they feel at the moment, and if they have anything that they have sort of like on their to-do list for autumn, winter, and all these things. And for me personally, um, it might sound ridiculous, but I now, for the first time in my life, allow myself to actually turn the heater on before it's below zero or something like that. I used to live after the motto, as long as I can put layers on, I put layers on. You know, I'm not going to put on this heater.
Mm.
And now I think a couple of days ago it was like, you know what? I feel a bit cold. I'm just going to turn the heater on. And it's this warmth. It's this warmth that I have not allowed myself to have because my um, big driver, we've been talking about it with the inner children a little bit, these aspects of us that basically remote control us through our daily lives. And one of my big drivers was really to punish myself, to constantly make it hard for myself.
Yes.
Because one of the typical core beliefs a lot of us share is because I don't deserve it, because I'm not good enough, and because I did kick Julia in fourth degree in her bum, and I split up
You
with that
you know me
guy.
so well.
And
Yes. And
but you know, it's
because
all
I
these things.
that's right, and because I wee in a yogurt tub. Those sorts of things that we punish
Yeah,
ourselves for.
yeah.
Look, Don
And is it
remembers the
not?
last time you did. Look,
And where the other top?
do you not remember?
Ah, now I remember. Well, John, I need to tell you, as I'm in my camper, there is no yogurt top.
Oh, okay. We're safe this week. We're safe this week, Don. No, but you're right. You're right. You know, this is a testing time. It's a test for us, isn't it? So we come back to the competition thing, and people are talking about competition here, and some very interesting comments being made about it. And I think it's a fascinating topic for discussion. But, you know, in competition with ourselves, in competition with the seasons, I think probably possibly what you're talking about is rather than being in competition or fighting anything, is this is the time to it's cooling down. We can cool down ourselves, can't we? Stop fighting and start embracing. So we give ourselves a hug. We can hug the season. I've got a beautiful poem to share with you as well about the seasons from 90-year-old Les, who we saw before. Some of you even sent him birthday cards from around the world. He's a
I remember.
Do you remember Les? And
Of course.
bless him. I mean, can we set the scene with this, Jenny, and do his poem about the seasons? Because he sings a song. This lovely man sings a song every week and puts it on Facebook. And he didn't have a song this week, so he decided to read out his own poem. I'll let him tell you about it himself, and we'll come back. We'll continue talking about this, about the effect winter has on us, and how we can make, rather than fearing it, which is understandably a human reaction, isn't it? It's going to be cold, it's going to be miserable, can't wait for spring to come. But there may be some useful benefit from embracing winter fully. And here's to set the scene is the lovely Les.
Hello, everybody. Les here again. I haven't got a song for you this week. Oh, dear. But I got a poem instead. So I wrote this one and I read it out at the ladies' meeting, so a few of you may have heard it. But if you don't attend the ladies' meeting, then you will definitely won't have heard it. So I've written it, I've called it Seasons. Shades of night are falling fast. A chill is in the air. Autumn's here. Winter soon. But we must not despair. In Portugal, the weather's better than many other places. Winter doesn't last too long. It leaves not many traces. Snow is a rarity, although it has been known. So keep a smile upon your face while folks back home can moan. Soon it will be Christmas. Carols fill the air. Children all excited, parents in despair. Then before you know it, spring is here again. Lots of little showers, sometimes heavy rain, followed by the swallows. What a lovely sight. Summer quickly follows, plenty of daylight. Soon another year has passed. We'll remark, where did it go? We're all 1 year older, but we don't want to know. Hope you liked it.
Dear old Les, what a legend, eh? He's helping us. He's easing us in. There's an elder to aspire to be like one day. I bet he likes a lozenge. Whenever I think of boiled sweets, I often think of old men who used to be in the home where my grandmother was a resident, and boiled sweets seems to be a lot more popular then. An old man might offer you a boiled sweet that had been in his pocket for several weeks, and you'd have to accept. You'd have to accept it. But cheers, Les. That is fantastic. Really love that. You're a wonderful man, and hopefully we'll have you live on the show one of these days. But there he is, setting the scene for winter, right? So tell us more, Jenny. This is a time of shadows, isn't it? And a time we might look at our own shadow and reflect on the year. I've had my own. It's like the leaves have fallen, my beard has fallen off. I have a time to look within, don't I, right now, if I want to.
You can even look outside now if you want, because you have a much better sight now. You can see more clearly.
Yes, indeed. All the chins.
Do you know, I don't know if it's just for me. I mean, I experienced that a lot with friends and clients as well, that for some reason it's also the time where this the cold, as in the temperature, it's not so much just that cold, but does it not also do something with our physics? And it reminds us on the times that might have not been so graceful and wonderful in our lives, and the cold that we still feel from these moments. And all this also comes up, doesn't it? It's like sometimes in autumn and winter, it's not just about reflecting what has happened in this year, but also some things from the past might come up, and these things might continuously come up, and it's something that keeps knocking on your door, and you always say like, but now I really going to read this book. Now I really, it's just like this. Nah, not now. And I mean, we talked about that. Huh?
We've all been there. Yeah, I think people
Yes.
will recognize this. Yes.
Yes. And I mean, have we not all been there as well, noticing that sooner or later it will grab us from behind? So there is
Yes.
actually no point in wasting energy in try not to look at it,
Okay.
instead of using a lot less energy, which doesn't seem like this in the moment where it's right in front of us and wants to be faced,
Yes.
because we tend to, and we've practiced so well to walk all the way around it, like loo 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 loo, ignoring it, putting all the glasses on not to see it. But the truth is, at the end of the day, even though there might be this little big gap of darkness in between you and facing this thing, in truth is this little gap of darkness turns into bright light once you dare to do this step.
Yes. Yeah.
And it turns this energy that we used to waste for fighting against it, that
Yes.
just all of a sudden turns into something useful actually for you. So Jack, don't get me wrong, but you'll be the example today. So
Oh,
taking Jack as an example with all that energy, exactly, comes from all the love. With wasting all that energy or putting all this energy in, we're not aware of that we waste it, but there's a lot of energy going into this whole process of thinking about that it is so annoying and la 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 la. Now, instead of taking yourself out of that perspective of your own person into the observer, thinking, yeah, right, but what's the point? You can keep thinking about it and moaning about it, but does it actually change anything about the situation? No. So you rather accept it. Now, when it comes to internal things that we carry around with us, there's it actually comes to the same. So because it's internal, you have actually two options. You can accept it or you can change it. So, and they can happen really quickly with very less energetical input once you allow yourself that this is actually an option. Because usually we think like most of the day, 70% of our thoughts are the same, aren't they? If you think about when you think throughout the day, it's just the same shit,
yes. Sadly
just
so.
different days.
Yes.
But the
Yes.
truth is, with every breath and with every thought, we have the opportunity to make it different and to decide whether this is actually something that still serves us or not. And when
All
the
right.
answer is no, we might as well let it go.
Jenny B, some people
Yes.
are going to be thinking, okay, yeah, I get it. I'm going to do that. Other people are thinking, what is she talking about? What is Munson and Jenny B talking about this morning? This thing, this darkness, this shadow. So I think we need to probably put our finger on it a bit more here. And what are the symptoms of avoidance? Would you say? Are we talking about the sort of thing like where you think of a person and it creates a difficult reaction or a situation, or I must get round to that? We're talking about things that we tolerate, right? We're talking about things that make us uncomfortable. Are those the symptoms of the thing that you're talking about that we might deal with in this time?
Well, I mean, generally, I think in our society we tend to embrace and praise and celebrate all the comfortable feelings, but the
Yes.
uncomfortable ones are not so much welcome on a big scale and on the individual scale.
Yes.
So, but as we are all human beings, we tend to have also uncomfortable feelings, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That's why I don't like to call them negative feelings. If we would allow ourselves to find that these are there to make us aware of something, and that they're actually like friends showing you that something's not quite right, and that
Yes.
counts for any symptom really. If it's on a physical basis, as in, oh, my shoulder continuously hurts, or oh, my knee, I always have this pain in my knee, or if it's really this, for most of the people, it's somewhere along the belly chest area. Like what you said, if you think about a person and there might have been an argument which you have not really come to come aligned with, then if you think about this person and seeing it next time, it might already give you a bit of a, or even in the throat. We feel it
Yes.
often in the throat as well.
Yeah.
And the throat is often connected to things we have not spoken out, but we wanted to, or when we not have spoken our truth,
Yeah.
or when we feel guilty. So it's all these things we feel, but we don't want to feel.
Yeah.
And the avoidance you talk about, it's also interesting to see then. It's this saying of, we had this in university, you know, when there's a big exam coming up, just before that, your flat has never been cleaner. All the ironing has been done, all the windows have been cleaned, you know. And that's
Anything but getting on with it. Yes.
anything. Exactly.
Yes.
Anything but studying. And it's a
Yeah.
little bit the same with these internal things as well. It's like doing all the paperwork, you know, you have this big pile getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're like, oh, but I can't be asked, and it's just ooh. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, it takes 10 minutes, it's gone, and you're free. But it's one of
Yes.
these things we think it takes so much effort to do that, and it's just uncomfortable, and I can do better things. And these is actually the same with any uncomfortableness that you feel inside that is not just temporary, something that
Yeah.
keeps coming back.
Yeah.
And what we tend to do, which is also a natural thing, is then we start distracting ourselves, like you said. We start to
Mm.
go in avoidance. Very nice, welcome, easy access distraction nowadays is any smartphone, mobile device, perfect. You just
Or
take
growing
it.
a moustache, or even it's so we can tie this up with Movember now, because
Yeah,
Movember I think was started to bring attention to mental or male health issues, including male mental health
yes,
issues. And you could argue, I mean, I'm not knocking it because I think it's quite a good thing to raise awareness. But if all you're going to do is grow a moustache for Movember and not tackle a mental health issue, then that might be missing the point a little bit, mightn't it? By all means, let's grow. And just to give you some examples of where I might go with this, well, who is this? This is a Flash Gordon character. That's one, isn't it? Here's another. I thought this was Warren Mitchell, but I think he's actually a cricketer. That's quite a furry thing, isn't it? There, would you want to be kissed by a man with sporting one of those? That looks a little bit itchy, doesn't it? No, she's kind of. And there's one I made earlier, which I think made me look like one of the village people. What? Why are you laughing? YMCA comes to mind there. So when you finished, I will continue.
give me 5 minutes.
He's so naughty. It looks like a beach. You know what? You look like you're lying on the beach and the sea is coming in. I'm going to see that anytime you're getting a bit serious. I'm just going to give you one of those. Worth it just to hear that laugh. So there you go. You've got fellas who might not, when you were talking about it, I was thinking these issues are like the stone in your shoe. You know, when you're walking along, you're going out for a nice walk and you get a little pebble in your shoe and you think to yourself, I could stop now and take the pebble out of my shoe. But a lot of us just keep walking, don't we? And then you start limping. And then someone says, you okay? You see, yeah, I've just got a pebble in my shoe. I've had it in here for the last 3 miles. It's like, well, why didn't you just stop? Yeah. Take your shoe off. Sit down for a minute. And it's the equivalent of that. It's just the mental equivalent of that, isn't it? It's just having a clear out of these bumpy things in our lives that we avoided for one reason or another. And maybe not as simple as taking a pebble out.
And with these things, you can always ask yourself whether it's that or whether it is, oh, I'm cold, I'd like a cup of tea, but I'm too lazy to get up. Blah, blah, blah. It's these things when you can ask yourself, am I worth it? Am I worth to stop and get the pebble out, avoiding, being precautious not to get a blister and being like in pain for the next 3 weeks walking? Would I do it for my best friend? And if the answer is yes, then just do it.
The pebble out. Yes. Okay. So a few hellos. Fiona's here. You often bring some people to the yard, including Fiona here this morning. Good morning to you, Fiona. I hope you're well. Tim Murray's here as well. Maybe heard about the yogurt pot too. Bon dia from Pam. Oh, while Pam's here, it gives me a chance to show a few photos. Here's Gary. We were talking about cats walking across keyboards. This cat, I think the same one is in the profile pic. It is, isn't it? Double Gary this morning. That cat didn't only just walk across the keyboard, it shut the laptop down so that it could sit in a warm place. Well done, Gary. Well done. That's it. And they say that dogs are more intelligent than cats. Some do. I wouldn't dare say that and start a fight of that kind. But that cat looks pretty smart to me. Good morning to you. Hola, bon dia, Gary. 22 waiting and Carl's still on the coffee. Well, I'm sorry about that. I got distracted talking to Jenny actually this morning. Hold on. Crack 10 minutes. Catch up since typing and waiting on Munson. The longer I leave you waiting, the more Portuguese you'll learn. That's not too bad, is it? Jackie, bon dia, Jenny and Carl. Have a great morning. It's Jackie CDM. Jacqueline CDM. Actually, we made the connection now. That's fantastic. What? Who's that kid on the screen? These are the comments going back 45 minutes. Ha ha! Flash Gordon Mongo. I think that's the most popular so far, isn't it? Bon dia todos from Ian. How are you all today? I'm in Norfolk enjoying the Broads for a couple of days, and it's a beautiful day. A quick pic from there then as well. Look at this, the Norfolk Broads. That's a beautiful shot with the bird in there as well. On the Broads there, and I believe celebrating Mrs. T's birthday as well. So parabéns, many happy returns to you, Mrs. Turner there. Sorry, I forget your first name, but we'll go with I think he calls you the better half, or the other half. But have a fantastic birthday. Okay, who else is here this morning? Looking sharp, Carl, thank you very much. And no, it's me, honestly, it's me. Raphael, not your average globetrotter, saying it's an imposter. No, it's only me. And Tom appreciating it as well, looking sharp with your new hair, beard cut. Thanks, Tom. Good morning to you as well. Good morning, Carl and Jenny. Good morning, everyone. Can't wait for the show. We're here. We've been doing it for a little while. Sorry it's taken so long to get to your comments. Bon dia, Jenny, from Francis as well. You told him off and he liked it. Good morning, Massive. From Andy, -1. He sent me a picture of an icy bonnet this morning, or an icy hood, as you Americans say. Uh-oh, who is this sexy man? Well, Maxine, good morning to you as well. Thank you. Jean's here. Bon dia. First frost here yesterday morning in New Jersey there. And looking good, Carl. We're dealing with it. We're dealing with the cold. What positives can it bring? That's exactly why Jenny's here on this Feel Good Friday. Bring back Carl. Who is this new guy? Everyone! So, yes, quick advert for the Man Cave tonight. If you want to join those fellows, Friday night, of course, is Man Cave night. This is what they do over there. Shouting out, Garbo, Frank, Matty, Nurse. Haven't shown that for a little while. I do like that. The fur. Are you talking about my face fur possibly there? Hold on, I can't get rid of these primates now. Hold on a minute. There they go. Okay, thank you for that, Jacqueline CDM. You're confusing me now. Fur, is that something to do? Oh, maybe that was the prickly face thing in the babies. I go all prickly faced by the end of the first day. Simply can't manage shaving every day, says James. A lot of testosterone obviously going on there. -1 in the UK. Thank you, Andy. Morning all from Dominique Nazar. What a lovely photo of you, Dominique. Good morning to you. Bon dia, Jenny and Carl. That trim takes years off you. You can't. Is that aimed at you or me? I wonder.
That's me.
Careful. Pete, says Andy. And Matty, says Andy. Looking forward to driving over that bridge in 19 days. Okay, yes. So the talk of the bridge is inspiring people, including Jean, who's going to be driving over. It's a lovely moment. It really is, driving over either one of the Lisbon bridges. It really is. Hernia repairs have paid to trusses. Oh, so that's what they were for, Tim. Maybe you're in the medical business as well. So a truss was just to hold your bulgy bits back into your body. I love a bridge fact, says Andy. And we don't we all? Eusebio, loving that this morning. Gary Orgles was here. Loved your backdrop last night, Gary. Tenho ótimo sensación. Sensational and good Friday, sexta-feira to us. It was about Portuguese radio during work, not about GMP. Oh, GMP always in the foreground. Okay. Well, he's been waiting to say that to us for ages, whilst we'd gone off on a very judgmental path there. That's a comment worth sharing twice, isn't it? Tech issues sounds like a Bill Gates issue to me. Yes, I was thinking that before the show. One of the really annoying things, the first world problem, of course, is how Microsoft try and be helpful. and so often don't manage. Bon dia. Thank you, Stephen, for your encouragement yesterday and your question. Does Mrs. M like the smooth you? I think she does. She pulled me close and tested it yesterday as soon as I got back from the barbers. And she said something like, "It's you smell like you've been with another woman because of the aftershave and the hair wax and everything." And then she said, "It smells like Saturday night." So I think it worked. Day 3 with no electricity. EDP have admitted a breakdown between local and central office. Don't know what else to do. So all we can do is suggest you go with our winter ritual this morning that Jenny B is suggesting. What else can you do? 5 overcoats, Portuguese style. Condor flies. Recitations by Chad Mosley is here. Good morning from Washington, D.C. Can anyone recommend a reliable source or firm that can answer double taxation questions for Americans? Go on to our forum. They are talking about that on our forum. Condor flies. Vegan condors. Hola, bon dia, alegria. It's here. The jazz funk track of the day. The McCrary's Love on a Summer's Night. Taking us back to... taking us back. I don't know if you're slipping in a...
Carl!
What a great...
These comments tell me that you came not really much closer than to Mrs. M's face.
Okay. Yes. You're a very perceptive woman, but I can assure you, no trombone solo with Mrs. M yesterday. I keep making a copy of my UK license. I'm buying a Hyundai. She's gone. Gum is rubber. I see. Oh, stop it, Pete. Didn't Vauxhall launch a car in the UK called the Nova? Then they understood it. And then, okay. Car names that don't work in other countries. So we had the Silver Mist in German. Not a good wood to call a car, or not a good word to call a car. I don't know what a Nova is and what country that was.
It's not just about car names. You want to hear a funny thing about a pharmaceutical item that is called differently as well?
Of course I do.
So there's this cleansing lotion for intimate parts. That
Really?
is, it's an Italian company, and they're called in Germany.
Jenny, isn't that just called soap?
Yes,
Cleansing.
but it is a very special soft detergent, and there's different kinds. So for the women in the menopause, for women who tend to get infections, for blah 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 blah. So lots of different ones, pink and blue and green and all that. So, and in Germany, it's called Sagella, Sagella, and it comes originally from Italy.
Yes.
And when I was Sagella.
Yes.
Bellissima.
Benissimo. Ciao bella. Where's my Sagella? Mama, where do you put my Sagella?
Mama, see, Mama. And then I was in Italy in a pharmacy, and I saw the same package there, and there it's called Sorgella, which is the original name. But in Germany, SAU is a female pig. So including this in the name for a detergent for female intimate parts, they found that's probably not the smartest thing to do. So they changed the name.
Probably works as a Christmas present for some people, but you're not going to buy that for yourself, are you? I don't think. You learn so much.
You can probably use it in your face as well to give your beard like the little bit of extra touch.
Yeah, and maybe all the hairs will come out curly. Hola Gumpers. There she goes again. Hola Gumpers, enjoying Friday, my favorite show. I posted in the... Hold it down. I posted in the forum about... Okay, so Andy's all over that there. There was once an American car. Sounds like a limerick. There was once an American car. This doesn't rhyme, James. Don't remember the make. Called it Impact. Yes, that's not... Sack the marketing team. Didn't do very well and was discontinued. And the Hyundai i30, I love it. So he's getting serious about cars there. Hola bon dia and hola bon fin de semana from Rebel Mama. Hello, Rebel Mama. Yes, picture from you as well. This is great. I get the cue to show the pics. And we have your wonderful cow pic from a couple of days ago, which I neglected to show at the time. So we've seen the video of the cow coming to the gate. Rebel Mama feeds this cow who comes up to the yard, as it were, and here is the cow. Not a laughing cow, grumpy because there are no snacks. Isn't that amazing? Don't you stay indoors when that cow comes visiting? I think you probably do. Superb.
Yeah.
And she's not really into competition. No, life is too short for that. I think there's a time and a place. I'm not a competitive guy. I avoided all team sports as a kid, but I think there is a time and a place. And if I may, talking about male health, mental health, and the Movember thing, again, there's always a right time for most things. Not everything, obviously, but for a lot of things where we're just chucking the baby out with the bathwater. And the phrase "man up" comes to mind. And it was a terrible, for a little while, people were saying, you can't say "man up." You mustn't say that to a man who's not feeling very well. And I've got to say, I disagree with that. Obviously, you don't say it to someone who's in the pits of despair and you're going to push him over the edge. But there is a time, because of the competitiveness and the way men are made, generally speaking, where an appropriately timed and loving man up is perfect. And I've had a couple of those in my life from men I've respected. And so sometimes it does work. So I think there is a time and a place for everything. Like competition, I agree with you. Competition has done so much harm in so many ways, but occasionally it can be fun, right? If it's in the right context. So, but I agree with you. Life is too short. As Ramdas said, we are all just walking each other home. Isn't that beautiful? Ramdas. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Rebel Mama. Really appreciate that. No, not a competition, says Matty. It so is. That thing is a competition. The Mazda Bongo friend was my favorite. I had one of those, and at times it was my enemy. You're right, Pete. A very odd name. Friendy, I think it was called, wasn't it? Max Gravy means all the best. Very good. Yeah, the Friendy. Absolutely right. Did you have one of those, Pete? Personal accountability is the key for me. Okay, so we're getting into the winter stuff now, aren't we? The looking within, the personal accountability. And I think we're talking James's sort of language here. I'm not sure if he's made your acquaintance before. Fairly new to the team here is James in the community, but he may well know you. Jim needs to know Matty. Can you let Jim know how to join the Memrise group? And avoiding the ats here. Avoiding the ats. This is very helpful. Thank you, everybody. Reminds me of the surf film Endless Summer, Jenny. They were chasing the perfect wave worldwide. And this is a human thing, isn't it? To keep moving, to keep chasing, and to not look within. So anything else occurred to you on that basis that you want to incorporate as part of the winter introspection, Jenny?
I mean, be good to yourself, really. That's the key, isn't it? Allow yourself to be good to yourself and give yourself some of the love that you share so easily with others.
Yeah, indeed.
Make sure you're warm. Give yourself some nice candles and give yourself some time.
Yes. You know what?
Do the things that make you happy.
Yes, I really resonate with that thing because I'm the person. I've become the old fart in the house who goes around turning lights off, and often this does fall to the alpha male who can grump around the house saying things like, shall we turn some more lights on in here? Were you leaving this on so that when you came back in 6 hours from now, it will be lit for you? These sorts of sarky comments, because it's costing me all of 3 pence to light this room or whatever. My first reaction to the fire, the electric heater being on the other day, as it was cooling down, was my first reaction was, my God, what's that terrible smell? And it's the fluff, isn't it, inside the electric heater when you spark it up for the first time. Second thought is that really necessary? Put a jumper on. And I had the turnaround that you're talking about. It's like, let's look after ourselves. Let's be, this is a celebration in a way, isn't it? I can keep, my family can be warm. We can appreciate and enjoy this. I don't have to be a grumpy old git who's trying to keep the energy bills down. We can really get the part of the value is the sense of love and warmth, isn't it? And being in the family home. And you can't put a price on that, can you? And I think this is the sort of thing you're talking about. James, I'm still so new here. I'm not looking too much into the future. When every day is a school day, I'm mostly in the moment. Isn't that lovely? And winter coming. It is still autumnal after all. Yeah, it is true officially, technically, but it does, as Jenny says, central, I'm sure, it is feeling a lot like winter. The daylight is decreasing, but it's not winter now on a technicality there. Nigel Henry, no, he just noticed. Have a fabulous day, guys. Off to get parts for my Benfica, my little red tractor. Oh, Benfica's the name then. Very nice. Big it up for Les. What a star. Was that, that's the photo we showed. What's his name? Is it Les Chadwick? Is that right? Have I got that right? I thought it was Warren Mitchell, the famous 70s
No, I think he meant Les the poet guy.
Oh, of course, Les the poet. Yes, absolutely. What a star. Thank goodness you're here to put me right on such matters, Jenny. Thank you very much for that. The seasons remind me of what it is to be alive and be grateful for the rhythm of it. Now, a great sentiment again there, right? Very good. I'm going to sneeze any minute. This could take a while. We love Les. That Les. Winter. And that's allowed. Do you not sneeze loudly like that?
It's so funny. I remember last time when Louisa was saying, Carl, can you sneeze? Because then you can hear his Chinese origin.
That's right. I sneeze like my Chinese origin. There you go. I don't think that's true. I think she's just being a little bit slightly racist. We love Les. Says Dominique. Autumn to-do list is short and sweet. The season of mists and mellow fruitfulness, of course, as it was poetically described. Is that Yeats? Make new friends here in Portugal and self-care. Yes, spend time indoors with those new Portuguese friends and look after yourself. Beautiful, Les. Thank you for the poem from Yvonne Gomes. I think we'll have to put that up on the YouTube channel, won't we? Perhaps winter is a reminder that the warmth comes from within. My goodness.
James, you're on it.
He's on fire, which is probably not the right thing to say. Loved Les's poem. So sweet, says Victoria. How wonderful. When I'm in Oxford, I feel sluggish, unhealthy, and just plain yuck. 9 days to go and back to the sunshine. So looking forward to being back in Portugal. A book for some, The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. Now, I think
it's
Jenny
a great book.
That. Yes.
No, it is a great book. Yeah.
Okay. By Mark Manson. Yes, almost a relative of mine there. So thanks for that, Don. I just remembered you're from Germany, Jenny B. Is there anything you missed from Germany? I could bring some with me in January as I make a stop at my mother's place in Germany on my way to Pombal. What do you want? So what would you want from Germany?
Matty, let's connect vegan condoms. No. Top on the list. Top on the list.
German man gets stopped on the border and there for a friend. Yeah, right. 200. Okay.
Matty, let's connect on Facebook. Probably some bread, Nutella, something like that. But yeah, cool. I love that. Thank you so much. Come on,
you could get Nutella in Portugal.
It's not the same. It's
why?
not.
Has it got beer and sausage in it in Germany?
It's got a whole that's a topic for a whole own show. Nutella.
It is, and your brot as well. That's a bit different as well. So little bread is not as good as. Okay, all right. Enough said.
No.
Enough said.
No.
Hey, you two, looking good. It's been a while. So, Susan's back. Did you draw that picture of yourself there? That's really good. It's been a while, but back to focusing on getting to Portugal ASAP. Quite right, too. Yes, very true. Avoiding techniques to avoid preparing for exam. A nice, clean apartment. It is funny, that, isn't it? The good news is when you finally do it, the serotonin release is amazing. Yes, of course, with all these things. So you get a payoff. Yes, it was Merv Hughes, not Les Chadwick. I don't even know who Les Chadwick is. It's probably someone embarrassing. That cricketer looks like Merv Hughes. You're absolutely right, Francis. Gratitude is always my key to peace. Gratitude for it all, including winter, right? And slowing down and coming in for winter. This guy's got it going on with the winter business, isn't he?
James, you're amazing.
Yeah, affords me the stillness to remember what I'm grateful for in the other 3 seasons. And as Les says, it's going to be around the corner, isn't it? And another year will pass for looking at it from another angle. And the many blessings winter also affords me. So get your nuts roasted at this time of year as well, of course, James.
And may I say something to that?
Yeah. What, roasting nuts?
No, the bit before. Reflecting on the 3 seasons. It's beautiful, James. I love your comments anyway, all of yours. But it's beautiful that you say that, because one thing I like to do at the end of the year, and by now you can slowly start doing it, because it takes a little bit of time, as much as you allow yourself to give it. But we always think about these things that we still want to do and we haven't done yet, and we have procrastinated again, and all these things, and then we again go with a little hammer on our head, going dong 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 dong. But
It's just like that. It's just like that.
just like that, isn't it? And then, but instead, instead, we could as well reflect on the things we already have done this year. Like thinking about, oh my God, so this year I really wanted to get my ass around to be more physically active, for example.
Yeah, true.
And I did. I managed. Even if it was just 5 times I did yoga or whatever, but I did. So
Yes.
keep on focusing on the things that you have done. Make us, sorry, I call it a reverse to-do list. So make yourself a list and write down every month special encounters you've had, things you've been really grateful for that month, things you've achieved that month, things you have revelations, things you have been having revelations on in that month, and things like that. That's beautiful because it empowers you again. It gives you another serotonin boost about the
Yeah.
things that you have actually managed already.
I'll tell you what, we do so much in the modern times as well, don't we?
We
'Cause
do.
when I think back to my life as a child, it seemed like things didn't, life went on day to day, and things happening were like things at the weekend or Christmas, or everything seemed to be much more spaced out. And what I realize now is in the modern world, we seem to have things happening every day that are quite significant. We don't wait for it to like week to week. I mean, I'm just installing this new habit with my kids, and because we're settled now in San Martino with the market, got this lovely ritual of going to the market on Saturday morning, then going to the cafe after that, and then going to the lovely stationery shop where they can buy a little toy, a comic or some collectible cards or something like that. And my kids do that sort of stuff every day, but in a way, and it could happen any day, which is what is different to my childhood. I remember that definitely being a thing. And like modern kids, I think, I mean, certainly mine, get to do these things on a very regular basis. But they really like the fact that we've got one day of the week to look forward to as this ritual. And it's just so crazy now, isn't it, how much we do? And this feeds into what you're saying. If we stop and think, which we don't often do, because we're so darn busy all the time. There is this massive list of when we look back, it's like, wow, I did that and I saw that person and went to that restaurant and that cafe and that new experience in Portugal. There's so much that we do and so much to be thankful for. So well said, Jenny, and James as well. And another from Jenny, James, and Jeff Jackson. Bon dia, amigos. Great to hang out with you last night, Jeff. I enjoy this time of year after visiting Golgotha for the horse fair. Oh, has it come and gone? I intend to. Oh, after it, so it's on its way, and that is a cue for showing another beautiful image, because they have the most beautiful poster there, which I think I might have taken down. I can't believe I. Oh no, I didn't. Here it is. And I've got the Roman numerals. I've forgotten all about them again. But look, if we just take the comment off there, and the banner. Hold on, just a minute. There it is. Isn't that a beautiful poster? So from the 5th, it starts today, everybody. 5th to the 14th, it is the National Horse Fair at Golgotha. Right now, starting today. That's amazing. I do love that poster. So thank you for that reminder, Fiona. That's going to be a great thing to go to attend. And what is she saying? I enjoy this time of year after visiting the fair. I intend to get out the cozy blankets, hunker down, and appreciate the restfulness and healing that comes with the shorter days, and just really get into it, right? Rather than be angry about it or avoid it or how it's ruining your life, which is what we could do with winter, of course. That is beautiful. Thank you so much for that intention shared there, Fiona. Superb. Right. My wife, says Terence, Ginny, feeds Garvo's cats sometimes. The plastic dish blew onto his roof yesterday. Does Ginny be advised she take action? Stop messing about and get on the roof to get it back. It's a real question. You know that's not a made-up question. That is a real question that's coming from our community right now.
I know, Terence. So, Terence, I'm telling you now, because I know you have a leak on the roof as well. You should manage to move this plastic dish on top of the leak, and then happy days.
How helpful is that? But when you say you, I mean, I think he's suggesting that his wife goes out onto the roof.
No.
Surely
And I'm suggesting it's you.
this is one of those situations when it's all right to say man up, isn't it?
Yeah,
Man up,
true.
parents.
True.
Get out there.
I know you're short, but you can have a ladder.
We lit the fire for the first time last night, says Pam. Oh, so much great advice today. Carl, it's to do more with Scottish heritage than testosterone, I think. Maybe it's the same thing. Yes, I think you're right. I think it is the same thing. Hit that hitchhiker thingy, folks. What? Oh, the thumbs up. Okay. No hitting hitchhikers, anyone. In Spanish, Nova doesn't go. Okay, so the Nova didn't sell well in Mexico. Very interesting. And the Ascona, the Opel Ascona as well was a problem. Interesting, isn't it? The marketing people, despite what we might think, don't know it all, you know. Try coconut oil. Smells, tastes, and feels great everywhere, and your beard. With a few kisses there. You being naughty, I think, Nigel. Naughty Nigel. Lol. You can even use it cooking. Don't spit in the camera while laughing. We know we wanted her to do that. Really, I think she had to spit in the yogurt tub instead. Andrew is going to become the IMT whisperer when he comes to. Yes, he's going to start an agency. Of course, he's on first name terms with that lot. I do use coconut oil for cooking as well as olive oil, of course. Antonio, in Brazil many years ago, the Ford Pinto was a flop. No one remembered that Pinto. It's also a way Brazilians refer to the male. So we've learned even more Portuguese, some Brazilian Portuguese there. Okay. And goodness only knows what a Brazilian Pinto looks like. Okay. Morning, lovely. From talking of close shaves, morning lovelies from Corrie Fox. Good morning, Corrie. Always enjoyed our corporate softball league. Playfully competitive, I thought of it as. Yes, some took it far too seriously, though. And this you tell a lot about a person, can't you? Because there's the person that says, I'm not competitive. And then as soon as they get a bat or a ball in their hand, you know they are, right? And then there's the person who doesn't want to get themselves shown up. So that was me as a kid. I wasn't competitive because I thought I'd lose. How sad is that? And I think, you know, that I missed out on that basis. We leave the lights on for the dogs and the TV or the radio. They're pampered pooches, aren't they? I'd be turning them off. Are your dogs going to sleep outside Portuguese style as well? I want to know, Henry household. If you want the rainbow, you have to put up with the rain. There you go. Jack is here. And even though she became the focus of your sermon this morning, we know she is a very cheerful soul. Look, she comes out with something like that. And
she's got it already. Look.
She got it going on, and we know because she was on with us, and she has this very great gift, like the best people, I think, of being able to laugh at themselves. There is the transcendence, right? When you can laugh at yourself, you know you can look at yourself. I'm sure the electricity company can put a price on it. It's so true. It's so true, isn't it? EDP, I think, have got even richer in the last few days. Some big acquisition, I think, over there in Brazil, the aforementioned Brazil. My tractor is called Lewis and is a bright blue Japanese Iseki. No beard on that tractor, of course. Did you miss the mute button? Best sneeze No, I shared that with you. I didn't have time. Susan, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Still in Finland, says Susan. Benefits keep me here. 2 to 3 years more to get citizenship. Make me think cheaper Portugal, maybe worth jumping sooner. Yeah. Don't delay. Between a rock and a hard place, know any companion dating sites. Oh, now, we've not done that here on the Good Morning Portugal show or Expats Portugal, but I do want to talk about dating, not for myself, but, you know, for the sake of the community, I do want to do a little bit of a program. If anybody knows about that, about dating in Portugal or the Portuguese approach to dating, that's going to be funny, I think. And also, obviously, don't you think?
That's probably the best expression. Yeah, funny. Yeah, that's probably
because
gonna be
it's different. It's different in different cultures, isn't it? How you go about it. What's okay, what's not okay. Who pays for the meal? Do you have sex on the first night as a rule? All of these things, all of these things are part of dating culture, aren't they? I've embarrassed myself a bit there. I'm going to move on. But yes, we will look into that, Susan, and delighted to do so. Great, Jenny B. Find Matthias. You can probably pronounce this better than me.
Lanushny.
Lanushni. That doesn't sound especially German, does it? WhatsApp, also possible. So to get the German supplies coming in across the border there. Always love a good nut roasting. Yep. One of the many things to be thankful for in winter. Or maybe Carl can connect us. I'd be delighted to do so. I often remind my clients, and therefore myself, that we can't see our children grow. Our progress is generally, yes, it is true, isn't it? You kind of, the grandparents can, because they have a snapshot, don't they? But when it's happening there in front of your eyes, same for yourself, right? Our progress is generally a slow process. So we need to look back 6 months or years and compare to where we are now. That is so good. Thank you, James. Great contributions this morning. Go on, Jenny.
Yeah, he's so right, and that kind of aligns with what we were saying earlier. We do so many things, and we keep on forgetting that we actually do all that, and the reverse to-do list. And can you go back to the prior comment, please? And yes, that to also be patient with ourselves, that all these things, and particularly if it's big changes, they don't just happen like that. It needs time to unfold and unwind, and we shall be more patient with us. If for example, if as a kid, when you try to learn walking and it wouldn't work out the first 3 times, if you would have stopped, where would you be now? But it's about keep on trying and having the patience and allow yourself the process. Enjoy the process of learning it.
And look at you now. And here's the thing we might do for each other, right? Because we just celebrated a birthday in the household. And that's, I do complain about how rituals are quite shallow these days, and how our celebrations have been reduced to marketing so often. And they are a good opportunity. As the year goes round and you come to another birthday, isn't that a great time for your family to say to you, what an amazing year you've had, and remind you, and your friends can do this, can't they? 6 months ago, a year ago, you can say, look at you now. You did this, you did this. Isn't that a beautiful thing to be able to do for each other? And we could do that, couldn't we, as friends for each other?
Absolutely.
I'm happy 364 days a year. On the 365th, trust me, I'm happy not being happy. I revel in it, knowing that everyone must have a day to dump all the trash in. Very good, Capricorn 12, Chris. Always look for the silver lining. Silver shadow. Get the plastic or there's going to be trouble. Oh, I see. He's not happy about it, is he? He's not happy about that. One of you, get out on the roof and get that. Morning, Jen. Our little sunbeam on a chilly morning. There you go. How about that? Yes. And Pinto was a problem. Yes, of course, in Brazil. Some people would have liked their car to be called that, I'm guessing. After listening to the two of you play, I feel so good. Thank you. Oh, cheers, Jim. I hope a lot of people do. You're all invited, of course, to this playfulness. Oh, look, who's this who's come to play as well?
Ta-da!
And who is that?
That's Hippie. That's Hippie.
Hello, Hippie. The awakened one, Hippie. That's what that means, isn't it? No, that's what hippie means in Sanskrit, I think, originally.
There you go.
Hippie.
There you go.
What a beauty. What a beauty. Oh, look. My photo is computer-generated drawing of me happy in France 25 years ago. Can't take the credit. Well, it's a lovely picture. And again, every little moment there, every little gesture you can make to add to your gross happiness is good, isn't it? Your net happiness, as well as your gross. Which is it? I don't know, but happiness anyway. Hive mind. I want to go south for my birthday later this month. I need the heat for a bit longer. I love to sit outside at cafes, go to farmers markets, walk around, etc. Suggestions. I think it probably is the Alentejo or the Algarve, isn't it? If you really want some heat, don't be messing about halfway down. Get all the way down south to Tavira, that's right, and move along towards the Mediterranean as well, Rebel Mama. Tavira is sounding about right there for you. Good suggestion there, Jenny. Dogs outside? No, it's bad enough with the others outside. All night outside for those pampered pooches. The Ford Pinto had difficulty here in the USA too. Little issue with the exploding gas petrol tank rupturing during collision. Well, that's not good, is it? And of course, it all gets kind of mixed up, doesn't it? If your Brazilian Pinto ruptures and explodes, they should just scrap that idea. They should just scrap that idea for once and for all. Well, Carl, that's my last name. Did not pick it. I got it from my father. I wasn't criticizing it, not at all. I was embarrassed. I didn't know how to pronounce it correctly. Yes, that would be a hot problem indeed. I'm 66, says Susan, seeking a companion, not a sex partner. And I'm sorry I reduced it to that level, although there's nothing wrong with sex. But yes, that was an inappropriate thing to say, possibly in this instance. Just to be clear, don't need. Yes, I'm sorry if I've contributed to that. Is that what happened immediately, Susan, after I said that? Oh, no. Okay, so let's just reiterate. Not everyone operates on the same principles as I do. I'm 66, seeking a companion, not a sex partner, says Susan, just to be clear. Don't unwanted requests on Messenger. So, okay, we are reiterating and making that very clear here. Obviously, I shouldn't be in charge of the dating part of Expats Portugal, should I? No. Birthday reminders of progress. I like it. Yeah, still cleaning up the kitchen after Owen got overexcited yesterday. Oh dear, him and his batter. Rebel Mama rituals. I really loved going to see the cemetery here yesterday after 2nd of November when they put flowers on all the graves. Yes, an important one. And we talked about it, didn't we, on Monday? It was really touching. We'll send a photo. We were talking about All the Saints and these sweets. I had to look up Saint Xavier, of course. Not an easy thing to say. And now I think I've shut down the Wikipedia entry. But he was responsible, Saint Xavier, for taking Roman Catholicism, I think, to Japan. So he would have been mixing in those kind of circles, you know, where Will Adams and whatever he's called, Nathan Grungren or whatever, the Tom Cruise character in The Last Samurai. I think that's all part of this same move and conflict between West and East that Saint Xavier was part of, obviously in different times, but that same very fascinating thing of Western ideas going to Japan and the samurai response to those. I really love that as well. Talking of rituals, yes, samurai, they got that going on, haven't they, in the ritual department? Visions of an impact. You see, it wasn't just my mind that went there. Caldas Taranya, looking appealing to me. Good size, temperate climate. Yeah, and lots of people. And I think some good social opportunities there as well, Susan, for the aforementioned. Nova. No go. Okay, excellent. Lots of lovely contributions this morning. A few more images to share with you. Such a delight to share Les's poem. And of course, I think I'm going to have to put that separately on YouTube so you can listen to that again if you wish. We saw the not laughing cow, didn't we? We saw the Norfolk Broads this morning, that beautiful image there with the bird flying across. And here we go to the lovely. Let me see where this is actually before I explain to you where this came from. Anna sent us this lovely picture here, and it is actually that's from a couple of days ago. The one I wanted to show you was the sunrise this morning in Olhão. We heard that unfortunately her motor vehicle had been broken into. That's one from a day or two ago. Here's a more recent one. This is a sunrise this morning from Olhão. And I think she was on the way to get her hire car after her car was vandalized. There you go. That's the sunrise in Olhão. And she's off to, she says, another one going to her favorite place of Villarreal to Santo Antonio. So another VRSA fan there. And have got a rental car from the insurance company. So that's great, Anna. Have a great day. And I hope the vandalism on your car wasn't too much of an upset for you. Also, this is mine from last night. San Martino de Porto took the dogs out for a walk on the beach. Lovely to see Jimmy Choo running around off the leash, getting off the chain. It was beautiful last night. And, yeah, feeling that autumnal winteriness. Thank you very much. The other lady from... I just said it. I can't remember what I just said. Yes, Villarreal, the Santa Antonio VRSA. This Victoria saw this and thought of me with the running hog there. I'm on the back of the label, being chased around the back of the bottle there after that awful business in the valley with the hogs. So thank you very much. I don't know what else we should say about Movember. I mean, anybody else who wants to raise awareness for male health issues, join us and grow a tash this month. I think I made a mistake. Apparently, I was meant to leave the moustache on, but I'm just going to grow it for the rest of November. And I'm open to suggestions of what style and shape I might do, whether it's that, or whether it's this, the one that...
I go with that one.
Or go back to that
one.
the YMCA one. I think I look like I should have some leather trousers on with that one, don't I? And maybe
I think you should wear a construction helmet on this one.
yes, exactly. Or be a backing singer in Frankie Goes to Hollywood with that particular picture there. Jenny and Carl, you make my day. My favourite morning to you. Oh, thank you very much. And William,
Thank you.
on the Compass, how are you, lovely people, this morning? Getting quite wintry here on the north coast and cold rain in Northern Ireland. I cannot wait to feel the sun. And that we have to say, don't we, Jenny?
My God.
Isn't it lovely in Portugal, even when the air is cold
Yes.
and you feel the sun on your face? It's
Yes.
one of the really very beautiful Portuguese moments.
Yeah.
Matty, Jenny, you got the details written down to find me on FB, or do I need to post again? We'll sort that out. Don't worry. He's very keen to get you some German bread. Let's see if there's any late images in before we wish you a bon fin de semana this morning. Yes. We do have some images incoming, and a picture, a sobering picture in a way, but also joyous in its own way that I'll show you. 2nd of November, all graves are cleaned and flowers placed as remembrance. So lovely. And this is the time of year, isn't it, when we remember those who've passed, and quite rightly so. We think of the generations rather than just ourselves. And we've got some camper van pics as well. This is great. Just a couple more to share with you before you go. And the 25th of April bridge. Oh my goodness, what's this then? You can go up one of the pillars of the April 25th bridge and look down. I think we've got pictures incoming from Pam. We need to share all of these. Just a few more wafer thin pictures this morning before we say ciao for now. Okay, so the April 25th bridge, you had driven across it, Jenny. You can walk up it as well. Have you done that?
No, that's mad.
Okay, so there's where you go up.
Holy cow.
Would you not do that?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about that. But then you can look through the grill beneath your feet like this.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Yeah, that's oh my God. Yeah, that's so mine.
Oh dear. So up there, and that's taken from behind the glass up there in the special sort of observation tower for tourists, isn't it? And then look, I would do that actually. I can feel my belly wobbling looking at that, but I would still do it. I really would. Okay, and then camper van. This is lovely from William, who has got this fantastic. I think it's a big old Mercedes, and you'll like this, Jenny, because you're a camper vanner yourself. I think we've got the beautiful original image of the camper van long shot. Maybe we haven't, but we've got this, the wheel cover. That cuts a dash, doesn't it? When you arrive in town, that's a fantastic German vehicle there with its wonderful wheel cover on the front with the big smiley face coming into town. Thank you very much for that, William. And I think you've lovingly restored and furnished that inside, which looks like a lot of fun. Khadija, thank you for this, and a great way of honouring those who've passed, as the Portuguese do on the 2nd of November. Look at that, lovely and clean and honouring of what's going on the 2nd of November. There are a lot of Portuguese people going to honour their past relatives. We should do that. Absolutely. And it's lovely that the Portuguese observe it in such a disciplined and honourable way there. Carl, a Clark Gable moustache. Well, quite frankly, see what I did there? That's a great idea. Rare these days, but I like it. The kind of thin, that sort of, I could draw that on now with a Sharpie. That would be very easy and quick. The biker for men at work. Is that another suggestion there? I think it might be. Not sure bread will be a good idea, as I would. German bread lasts for weeks, though, doesn't it?
No, guys, you are so stereotypical thinking.
Really? About me? Stereotypical? I mean, people don't have stereotypical thoughts about Germany, do they?
Oh, of course. Yes.
I guess to bring back the Breaking Bad goatee as well. Yes, maybe Gary's in for this as well. Yes. How about a Charlie Chaplin, complete with bowler and cane? I think the small moustaches are just a funny walk as well, says James Holly there. Yeah, and I think Matty's right. That one has some bad company from an Austrian that ruled Germany. Just say, yeah, I'm going to steer clear of that. I might go with, yeah, okay, it looks, moving on to Clark Gable, I think there. All right, Jenny.
Wait!
What? Go on, quickly.
Homework.
not.
I know, but give me
Sorry,
my
take
minute
your
of
time.
homework.
No, it's not. I don't know why I said quickly. Take as long as you want. It's Friday morning. It's Feel Good Friday. Take as long as you want.
Thank
I'll
you.
just suck on a St. Xavier.
So I was thinking, guys, as we usually have homework, I was thinking I'd like to give you something to think about for the November. And then I thought, Carl, so for next show in December, this will be our first anniversary. So,
Really?
yes, and because it's our birthday, we should do the birthday party that we just spoke about and she'll compliment each other and our community for the things we appreciate on each other. So think about this. But that was not the
Oh
homework. The
gosh.
homework, yeah. I'll get a message just the day before. Oh, I'm super sick. I can't.
That's right.
It will be
I've got,
Mrs. M.
I've got a pebble in my shoe.
Yeah, exactly. And I haven't took it out for the last 100 miles. So I thought the homework could be that everybody takes, or whoever wants to, of course, but I want to invite you to think about what a day of self-love and self-care would look like for you.
Okay. Yeah. Awkward.
Yeah. So this
Mm.
allows you to actually open the space within yourself to get your my dog ate my home.
This is what's going to happen. The fellas are going to be rubbish at this, aren't they?
Well, at the end of the day, you're not doing this for me, you're doing it for you. And it's Movember, so you got nothing to lose, so you might as well do something for your mental health.
Yes, you're right. No, you're right. And we will push them on this. We will
Yeah.
we will push them. I think you're right.
And don't forget, now is really, for me, the most important time of the year for the self-hugs and the self-massage.
Yeah.
So if you rub your hands and just
Oh, you did
remind
this to me
yourself.
before, didn't you? Yeah, but
Yeah.
you got me doing the like under the table massage. And I honestly was not.
Ah,
Yeah, you've got me in so much trouble with this. Okay, but you're right. You're right. That's so. There's two really slightly awkward things here, and we don't want people wussing out with this, do we? We want people to man up in this instance and embrace all that's good and great about themselves. And we're gonna encourage people to embarrass each other with a great big loving. When's this? Is this next time you're here? Is this the 1st of December?
yeah, what is it? The first Friday in December. That should be the 2nd, I think.
But that's when we're going to do it, right?
Yeah, what's today? The 4th? No, the 5th. Oh, so the 3rd of December. 3rd of December, we'll do our celebration.
Okay. Thank you for that, Jim. I'm going to go look there. So 3rd of December, we're celebrating ourselves and each other. Is that right?
Yes. And
Oh
1
my-
year Feel Good Friday with Jenni B.
And
And
1 year
Karl
Phil.
Manson, of course.
Okay. And so okay, and you also want to know what a day of self-love would be like as well.
That's more for, I mean, I'm happily
Between now and then.
receiving all that you want to share, but
Yes.
that is more like an individual thing for you to reflect on for the following month until we see again. What
Yes.
really would be a day of self-care, self-love looking for you? Like, what's the things that you would want to do on this day? What would be the perfect day in that regard for you?
Yeah. Okay.
You
So
could
how would
pamper
we celebrate?
yourself.
All right, so it's all about the pampering and it's all about the love, really, isn't it? I mean, that's what we're talking about here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Is selling ourselves short, not undervaluing ourselves or each other, for that matter. And sorry, that was a little bit. I don't know. That was Miss Saint. The lozenge was repeating on me there. Okay, we get the gist of that, and I think that's a really good. I think that's a very good thing to tie in with Movember as well, because I don't want it to sound like all poor men and everything, but I don't think blokes are very good at acknowledging that sort of thing, are they? Generally speaking, or looking within necessarily. I mean, it's a kind of yangy stance, isn't it? The typically male thing is to be outward and active and looking out there, rather than the introspection and the acknowledgement. So if we can't do it for ourselves, we can at least say nice things about each other, us blokes. So that's going to be a right old loving then, isn't it? On the 3rd of December. I'm looking forward to that already, but with some slight discomfort already. But that's what you're talking about, isn't it? Is to
Yes.
embrace that discomfort
Yes.
and do it anyway.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
And as we givers, I'm not usually not very good in receiving. This is also a nice challenge for us to learn to also receive the love we so easily give away.
Yes, that's right. And you made a very good point earlier on about how we are often kinder to friends than we are to ourselves.
Yes.
And that doesn't really make much sense, does it?
No. And this is really one of the things I do practice with myself, and I recommend it a lot to clients. Be your own best friend, really. In case of doubt, be your own best friend.
Oh, that's such a lovely sentiment to finish with, as well as a monkey tail moustache. That sounds high maintenance. I'll have a look. I was going to ask what happens.
Do you want a dread of mine?
I could have some little nose dreads or something like that, couldn't I? That tickled. When she got rid of the old nasal hair yesterday, I nearly leapt out the chair. I was going to ask you what happened to your facial hair, says Jean, but then you smiled. And OMG, you have dimples. From a sunshiny Portugal. Thank you for noticing, Jean. And I think, James makes the point. Movember, after all, male health. Let's do this a little bit differently, fellas. I will check out those Zoom. Who knew you could do that? You can mess about like that and put a moustache on yourself on Zoom. So we'll give that a go. Awkward. Gary enjoyed the old self-massage thing, I think. Wussing out. We've suddenly set off a new thread of comments here. Wussing out is the opposite of manning up, I suppose. I don't know where that comes from, and if it's probably an awful thing to say. I don't mean it badly. Will be my last working Friday. So it's going to be a good one, Matty. We'll rely on you being there, mate, before you pop to the bakery for Jenny. Just to reiterate, after 3 months, and the chemist, just to reiterate, after 3 months absence, you both look great. Thank you, Susan. Bless you. Looking forward to meeting you in Caldash. Always a fun show with Jenny. And the 6th of December is the last day of work for Matty. We're counting down with you, mate. Moving to Portugal, exciting, healthy. Oh, Matty. In US, wuss means puss, which is not our reference. Puss, would that be? Oh, dear. Got myself in some trouble again. Self-love. I've just told myself I have a headache. Hey! Come on, stop it, Gary. He's just making jokes to avoid it, isn't he?
I know.
We see what
he's really on the edge. He's standing in front of this big black gap, and he doesn't dare to make this step.
That's right. So when we're all shouting, Gavo, Gavo,
Gavo, Gavo,
go Gavo, go Brandon, go everyone. Bon fin semana a todos from Victoria. I am treating myself by moving to Portugal. You certainly are. Yep, absolutely. Carl, give time. People need to give time for things in life, be it learning a new thing in life, watching children grow, love, grief. So don't rush, but enjoy life. What else are you going to do? Sally, great show, says David Dawson. Cheers, David. Tomorrow night, you might want more of this in the shape of Feelgood Portugal at 10 o'clock. Don't forget to join us for that. And Jenny, I'm sure, will join us at some stage on a Saturday night as well. The man box is deep and devious and requires considerable introspection and disassembly. Very good, James. You're leading the way by the sound of it. Talk about cold, watching the Azores Airlines Pro 5-day surfing online. Okay, day 5 of the surfing online. So, yes, those are some real men and women out there on the waves, aren't they? Ciao, guys. Thanks so much for rocking Feel Good Friday, and we'll share the rest of the comments on the outro. Jenny, you are so marvelous. There you are, looking like you're lying on the beach. Thank you for joining me this morning. Really appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Bon fin semana to you. You have the final word.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Carl. Obrigada a todos. Bom fim de semana. And you're looking perfectly groomed.